What's up, boys? So, Jim Ryan, Jim Cryan, Jim Lion has come out and said a statement. I'm a bit tired, you can probably tell by the way I'm speaking. Anyway, Jim Ryan gave a statement, several statements, giving some very interesting information away. Like the fact that his company, PlayStation, really can't function properly without Call of Duty, like at all. So without further ado, let's just read it real quick. Update: Microsoft Activision Blizzard King Jim Ryan tells the CMA in its response to the PDF addendum that if Microsoft creates a version of COD for PlayStation that is slightly worse than the Xbox version, PlayStation as a business would never recover. And here is the direct quote.
Any degradation in the price, performance or quality of play on PlayStation or any delays on release would quickly harm SIE's reputation and cause a loss of engagement and of players, as SIE CEO Jim Ryan explained to the CMA at the Remedies hearing. If PlayStation received a degraded version of Call of Duty, it would seriously damage our reputation. Our gamers would desert our platform in droves, and network effects would exacerbate the problem. Our business would never recover.
What? You're telling me that PlayStation, a company that's basically, technically, right, a monopoly since they own more than 60% of the console market, they rely so heavily on Call of Duty that without it, their business would never recover. But it doesn't make sense because I thought everybody bought a PS5 to play The Last of Us Part 2 and God of War and all of the amazing exclusives. Don't worry, we'll get to that in a little bit. Also, Jim Ryan is worried and complaining about the fact that future releases of Call of Duty might play worse on PlayStation on purpose so that people will have to switch to Xbox. Now the funny thing is that PlayStation has actually been putting in contracts with other third-party developers that if they release their game on Xbox, it has to run worse than on PlayStation. This is true, this is what they have been doing. So Jim Ryan is now crying to the CMA about Xbox possibly doing something to the PlayStation brand that they have been doing to Xbox for like the past couple of years. Okay, so I want to quickly redirect our attention to the amazing PlayStation exclusives, the best games in the industry, real quick. Apparently, a lot of those games are funded with the money that PlayStation made from the exclusive deal they had with COD. So most of these games that PlayStation fanboys drool over were funded with Call of Duty money that now PlayStation won't be seeing anymore. I just wanted to say that because it's fucking hilarious to me. Now with that being said, let's quickly get into some PlayStation fanboy tweets because obviously they're not happy with this news at all.
No lies told by Jim, the CMA should stop this deal. Microsoft out here trying to damage other companies with their endlessly deep pockets, buying up the whole industry left and right while also having competing consoles. They want it all, and they want to buy it all.
Nah, you're wrong. You're just wrong, that's my argument, bye. No, but you do realize that PlayStation still owns 60% of the console market, right? You do realize that even if this merger goes through and Microsoft acquires Activision Blizzard King, that Sony will still own more market share than they do. Right? You do know this, no? No, you don't? You're fucking stupid? Okay.
He's going to block the deal.
I don't think he's going to block the deal since everybody is, disagreeing with him and letting the deal go through, except for the FTC, which, everybody else on the planet seems to agree, so I don't think the FTC is going to single-handedly block the deal.
I think PlayStation will be just fine with games like God of War, Gran Turismo, Horizon, and Last of Us and Spider-Man, and not Call of Duty. PS1 and PS2 era, anyone?
Yeah, let's just totally disregard what the CEO of the company has to say. I, random Twitter user, know best. You have to understand that the PS1 and PS2 eras are very different to the current generation, and also if it is true that a lot of these exclusives are made with money that they got from COD, with Call of Duty money, that is a problem, because then they've put a lot of their eggs into this tiny little basket, and now they're gonna lose everything. Well, not everything. I highly doubt their entire business will go under. They will definitely stay as a big, competitor in the console market. But they're not gonna be able to do this just with their exclusives alone. I mean, even if you look at the top selling games on any PlayStation console, it's always the top 3 games are Call of Duty.
Xbox fans, for the last year, this game runs 4 FPS less than on PlayStation 5. Sony must have paid them. Sony says the same thing could happen. Gosh, how silly is Sony? That would never happen, Xbox fans.
Okay, well, Sony did pay developers to make their versions on Xbox worse. This is fact. This is not an opinion or speculation. We know this is true. And yes, the same could happen on PlayStation. It's just kind of funny that no PlayStation fanboys and PlayStation Corporation themselves don't see anything wrong with this way of, I guess, fighting a quote-unquote console war. But when it's done against them, suddenly it's bad. We're not sitting here like, oh, it can't happen. Obviously, it can happen, and it probably will happen. I just find it incredibly hypocritical how suddenly, now that Xbox is doing it, it's a problem. But when PlayStation did it, it either wasn't true, even though it very clearly was, or it wasn't a problem.
There is no fucking way Jim Ryan actually said this. I refuse to believe it.
MBG, you sad piece of shit. And even he had to make a very sad post after he found out that it was in fact true that Jim Ryan said this. Now, unfortunately for us, this time, when MBG heard bad news about his favorite plastic box manufacturer, he did not press the go live button on YouTube and start crying his eyes out on stream like he did last time. So unfortunately, there is no content for us to explore there. Very sad. But maybe if we're lucky, MBG will do a live stream sometime this week where he'll cry about it anyway. He does that sometimes, so let's just hope he does it again. Cause honestly, funny as fuck. Honestly guys, I don't really know how to end this video. My brain is melting. Not because of like the retardation I'm reading on a daily basis to make these videos. Simply because I haven't slept in like... I've not been counting. I haven't slept, I need sleep. So yeah, anyway boys, if you like this video, like and subscribe to the channel, all that shit, whatever, blah blah blah. And I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.